Hey guys, how you doing? Eric at SoCal Cigars. So it's been 2 months since I've made a video. So I figured I would come on here and finally get to make another video and maybe explain to you what happened here and why it's been 2 months since I made a video. And the good thing is I've been watching, and even during this downtime of the last couple months, still gaining subscribers. So I really appreciate that. You know, it's fun. I really enjoy making the content, but it's also more gratifying knowing that people are actually watching and getting something out of it. So, but I guess this is going to be a little bit of a story time thing where I'm going to kind of explain what just happened. And so it's not just me staring at you talking. I figured this is sort of it's not a bad thing. It's more of a celebratory situation, if you want to know. So I figured a good cigar to smoke today in celebration of what I'm going to tell you about is Padron Anniversary Series 1964. So let's get that sucker going. And I apologize ahead of time for the noise. It is a Saturday and there's the dogs a-barking and the wind's blowing and people are out there doing their thing. In fact, I just heard a Harley fire up, which is kind of cool. In fact, it's my new neighbor. So if that tells you anything. All right, so let's go ahead and V-cut this sucker as per usual. Nice little V, right? And let's go ahead and get this thing toasted up. Let's make this happen, people. Guess you want to see maybe? This is gonna be very casual, by the way. It's been 2 months of a lot. So again, I told you what this is. I'll put all the characteristics down in the comments below, or the information below. And so just so you know, I'm going to explain to you what's been going on the last couple months, why I haven't been around for 2 months. I'll pepper in some pictures so you can sort of see what was going on too. So I guess to make a long story short, and while we're going to enjoy this cigar together, and I've warned you, this is going to be more talking and just explaining what happened than anything else. So if it's not for you, I get it. But again, being gone for 2 months, I kind of wanted to at least let you guys know what exactly happened. So 2 months ago, I'm out deer hunting in Missouri. Rifle in hand, coated in orange, and ready to go hit my location for the day, to hunt for the day, at least for that first half of the day. And right as I've got everything ready, I'm all dressed, ready to go down, rifle in hand, I get a text from my wife, and it says, "You need to call me right away." If you've never had a Padron, these are really good. They're really rich, I'll warn you. These are really rich. I would definitely be hydrated and I would have eaten something, because these things, they can pack a punch. Even to the most experienced cigar smokers, these are it's a heavy hitter. Really good though, a lot of flavor. Anyway, so I look at my text, "Give me a call right away." I'm like, oh crap, what's going on? I hope nothing bad happened. And so I walk around deer camp, because we're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, if anyone knows where this is, we're outside of Liberty, Missouri, in an area called Osceola. It's where my family has 40 acres in a cabin for deer hunting. And so I'm walking around trying to figure out where I can get the best reception to make a phone call, and I finally get a couple bars. I call my wife, and she says the owners of the house said to call them immediately, both of us. And now just the history of that, given that we weren't sure where we were going to end up landing, and at the time my grandfather had Alzheimer's, we ended up moving into a house down the street from my aunt and uncle to help take care of my grandfather while he had Alzheimer's. And that turned into 17 years of renting a big house. It was a 6-bedroom house, a big house. It's the house in all the videos you've seen before this one. And so we'd been there 17 years. We had always been told that we would get like 6 months to a year notice when the owners were going to sell, because that basically is their retirement property. That's how they're going to retire and the money they need to retire on. So fast forward, I'm on this phone call with the two owners, the husband and wife, and my wife, and they basically said they need to sell the property now. I'm not going to go into their personal information, but let's just say there is an illness happening, and they need to liquidate their assets, and they're going to move to be closer to their kids, because they live out of state, and they're going to be moving to another state. None of it's in California. This has just happened to be where they own the house and they raise their kids here, but then they move back east. So we're kind of like in shock, thinking, how are we going to move out of a 6-bedroom house that we've lived in for 17 years in 2 months? I mean, 2 months seems like a long time until you try to move. You got to understand the context. You're trying to move the accumulation of 17 years of a 6-bedroom house. Now keep in mind, this is the first weekend of November, which means we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So we're going to try to do this during 3 holidays, and I'm already in Missouri hunting. So, and in between this, there's the pandemic, and in between that, we're getting sick on and off. None of us have ever had the vid, but we were getting, I have sinus problems. You hear me all the time. I'm always sniffling and coughing and stuff. It's because I have horrific sinus problems. I have my whole life. And I don't care. It just, during this time, you make a sniffle, everyone's looking like, oh my God, he's got it, right? So for me, this has been frustrating, because I can't even cough without 10 people turning around like, what's going on? Sinuses, guys, sinuses. So anyway, 17 years, 6 bedrooms, 3 holidays. We're all getting sick on and off with colds, allergies, and stuff. So that's why 2 months, in our eyes, is we're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? So we do start the process. Man, these are good. I'm telling you. This is one of those splurgy cigars, because they're not exactly cheap. But if you ever want to really buy a good cigar, like for me, this is kind of a celebratory cigar, so I picked this one. Padron, I'm telling you, killer. I think the 26 is a good one too, but this is the 64 anniversary. So anyway, now take all that, and on top of it, we now have to try to find a new place to live. Okay, so we solicit the help of 3 different real estate agents. Luckily, with the network I have in what I do for a living, I had resources to some really good agents, some of the top in Orange County, where I live. And but I'll tell you, one came through Facebook. I had posted on Facebook that what it was going on, that we have to move, got to try to find a place to live. One of my old friends from high school, her son is a real estate agent, and that's who we ended up hooking up with. And he's the one who did all the work, and he knocked it out of the park. In fact, if you ever need a real estate person in Southern California, let me know, because this guy is phenomenal. Anyway, so he worked tirelessly. So again, now we're doing all the other stuff, holidays, in and out of being sick, and we're also working full time and trying to go see houses, sometimes 3 a day. Okay, and so if you know anything about the housing market in California, it's a nightmare. People are giving like $10,000 to $100,000 over asking price. So basically, the second a house lists, there's 25 people in line to get it. Okay, and if you're not familiar with the prices nowadays, just to get anything that would accommodate us, you're looking at anywhere from $3,600 to $4,200 a month for a house. Okay, and even though that's extremely high priced, there's nothing available, because they're all gone. The second something comes on the market, it's like vultures attacking it. And so luckily our guy Derek, he worked his butt off, and he showed us this house where we're living currently, which is about 45 minutes away from where I used to live. We're actually more inland, because in the end you're getting a little more for your money. Like behind me, you can see we now have a pool and palm trees, and it's a big house. It's nice. So it's definitely an upgrade from where we were, as far as the neighborhood, as far as the view. In fact, you can't see the view. I'll maybe put in a picture of it, but looking that way, all you're seeing is mountains with snow on the top. So it's beautiful. And our neighbors, the street goes down, so you don't see anyone behind us. You just see sky. And we're on the end, so we only have one neighbor that way. Over here, there's no neighbor. It's just another street. So killed it on getting this place, and he killed it for us. It was awesome. And we ended up beating out, I think I heard something like 25, 30 people to get this place. Because either their credit wasn't good enough, or their credit score wasn't good enough, or their finances weren't in order. Whatever it was, ours all lined up perfectly, and we got it. So that's the deal. That's why I haven't made a video in 2 months, because we have spent all of our time working, finding a house, packing, and moving. And I will tell you, that was, we kind of call it was a marathon. It feels like we just ran a marathon. I mean, I got to give a shout out to my son Kevin, who absolutely helped me at the end there. Really helped me get this done, because we still had the whole garage. We still had several rooms inside the house that needed to be cleared out, and things like the refrigerator and the washer and dryer, all the big stuff. And the way we worked it is we actually were still renting our old place for a month while we rented this place so we had a month overlap to start moving things over from one house to the other. So that was helpful. And really good cigar. I'll get to this. Sorry. And if this is boring, skip ahead. I get it. But again, I just kind of wanted to tell you why I normally don't just disappear for 2 months. So anyway, my son came over. In fact, there was one day where we started working at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. We didn't stop working until 7:30 a.m. Sunday. We literally worked 24 and a half hours straight, moving things from one house to the other, nonstop. We didn't sleep. We didn't stop. It was just constant. Because I think part of the problem is you start getting this false sense of like, well, we've got 2 months. Well, then when you add in all the other things we're trying to do, including work, 2 months ended up feeling like 2 days. I mean, we really did need that 6 months that we were told we were going to get, in which we didn't get. So that was a little frustrating, especially wrapped around these holidays. Anyway, that being said, we're out of the old house and we're into the new house. And the new house is really nice, and it's smaller. It's 3 bedrooms, but it's still a pretty good size house. It's 2,400 square feet, and it's got a huge loft for my office area. We've got a really nice backyard. There's a built-in barbecue. There's a pool with a spa, salt water. We've got a 3-car garage. There's actually enough room in the front for us to park we have a 36-foot travel trailer. And so this has worked out fantastic. So that's what happened. That's why I've been gone. It was very frustrating and very challenging while it was all taking place. But now that it's done, what a sense of relief. And this is actually one of the first weekends, because I've been wanting to make a video, and this is we've only been in this house now technically about, I don't know, it's a couple weeks. We've only been here a few weekends. So this is the first time I've actually been able to stop and sit down, and enough stuff's done. And we've been trying to, because on the other end, now we're trying to get all this stuff put away and stop living in boxes, which is going to take quite a while. But we're making good headway, still having to work, still having to drive the kids to school, and so there's still a lot going on. But man, what a sigh of relief finally. In fact, the first time we took advantage of this place, and we heated up the spa last night, and we sat in the spa, and even my wife said, she goes, "I'm so glad you made me do this. I didn't want to. I was so tired from work and so tired from all this." She goes, "But I feel so much better now." I sat in that spa for an hour. So in the end, this is, again, in the end, these are all first world problems. I get it. I'm complaining about things that some people would be like, "You're kidding me, right? You're complaining about this stuff." But again, your situation is your situation. And so for us, this was a big deal and a big thing to do and a big undertaking in a relatively short amount of time. But it's done. And I want to thank a lot of my friends and family. They, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law, they all came over and helped. Annetta's best friend, Linda, and Chris, the guy I ride with, they stepped up and helped tremendously. My son. So, and I got a lot of people online. And I guess that's kind of the cool thing. Maybe that's a little tie-in on social media and in real life, is because when I posted that I was needing to find a place to live and needed some help, I'm telling you, I had offers of money, I had offers of trucks, I had offers of time, I had offers of whatever you need. I literally had a gentleman that I work with offer to loan me $20,000 if I needed it, if it would help. I mean, so to see that kind of outpouring of support and help offered was phenomenal. And I didn't take, we didn't really take too many people up on this because it was something we were doing slowly from one house to the other. And, but, the handful of people that really did, we really did need their help. They really came through in spades. And the people that offered, thank you so much for the offer. And even though we didn't utilize it, don't think that didn't go unappreciated, that the offer was there. Fantastic. So it really makes you feel good when you know you've got a support system and that people really do have your six or have your back. So that was awesome. So that all being said, this is the new homestead. This is where you'll be seeing my videos coming from now. There's squirrels. We have squirrels the size of small wildebeests in this tree next to it, which is actually kind of fun. My dogs get a kick out of barking back and forth at the squirrels, so it gives them something to do. But yeah, this is going to be the new digs. This is going to be where I'm doing the videos from. I'm going to start putting them out regularly again. I can't wait to get back to doing it. And again, thank you so much for the people that are still subscribing, even though I've been putting out videos, because I know in the YouTube world, that's a big killer. When you stop putting videos out, everything starts dropping off really quickly. And to see that I still had people subscribing to my channel when I wasn't even around for 2 months, that was awesome. Yeah, so I really appreciate all the support I've gotten from you guys who subscribe and watch my channel. For the majority of you who watch my channel but don't subscribe, that's always kind of a funny dynamic you see on YouTube, is that when you look at the analytics behind a channel, it's funny that it's sometimes down to 10% of the people that watch your videos actually subscribe. It's 90% just watch them and don't subscribe. So if you could subscribe, I'd appreciate it, because it really does help with a lot of YouTube's back-end algorithms to get your videos out there. Man, I'll tell you, and look at the construction, look at the burn on this thing. Hopefully you can see me good. It's perfect. I mean, I would argue sometimes you spend a lot of money on a cigar and it doesn't always pan out to be that great, and you're like, it was okay, it was good. I'm just telling you, and there's a lot of really top brands out there that I've had cigars where I was disappointed. Let's just say that. Padron, though, they're kind of like a tried and true, you can rely on them. You buy a good Padron, well, you buy any Padron, because they have the lower models as well, let's say, that aren't as expensive. But when you buy something like this, like an anniversary edition, this is like a nice subtle box press on this, which I love. I love the draw of a box press for some reason. I should do a video on that, because I really think that the box press draws differently, and it's a really good draw for me, especially with that big fat V cut. But this is one of those cigars, a brand that you can always count on the quality, the craftsmanship, the construction, the flavor. It's always there. They always deliver. So I would definitely say, if you have the opportunity to splurge a little bit on yourself, or you're going to get a gift for somebody, you can't go wrong. No cigar person is going to receive a cigar like this and not be happy. They'll be stoked. And of course, my pairing. So with the new house and the new everything that's going on right now, got the new Mountain Dew Spark. So what goes better with a high-end, high-class cigar like a Padron and a low-brow, low-end Mountain Dew like Spark? I mean, why not bring the two worlds together? I think it's fantastic. Yeah, not as good. Maybe with Padron, stick to a little glass of whiskey or something nice. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, so this thing, I would just say that it's a really rich cigar. Like I said, I'll put the specs down below. It's a really rich cigar. Be prepared for that. Like I said, this is a great after dinner cigar. It's something I would definitely wouldn't want to have on an empty stomach. And to be honest with you, with the quality and the experience you'll have with these, it's really well worth. Maybe not the most special occasion in the world, but this isn't to me like a morning cigar. I'm just going to sit out and read the newspaper in the morning and have a cigar. that's going to be like a daily smoke, like Isla del Sol by Drew Estates. This is something that this is reserved for like a kind of a nice occasion. Maybe you're sitting around with all your friends and having a really nice evening, or like today, you know, for me, I'm kind of celebrating that I'm going to actually be able to sit down and make another video after 2 months in my new house. So for some reason, I looked at my humidor, which has hundreds of cigars, and I'm like, oh, that's the one. I gotta have this Padron. That fits today. That fits the situation. So I do think that, you know, in a way, it's to me almost like cigars have a little bit of a personality to them, and the personality of this one is celebratory for me. Or you're really just feeling like a good stick, you know, and you really just want to go for it. It's the Padron. Yeah, it's funny because you can, you know, you got the wrapper, you get that Maduro-y hit on it, but not overpowering. It's like a really well balanced cigar. Yeah, I'm trying to get some flavors out of it, and it's I get like a little bit of wood. It's like kind of woody, almost oaky, and it's a little nutty, and it's a little earthy. It's very, like I've said this before, it's like a very grounded cigar. It's not like wild out there flavors and, you know, crazy, you know, raspberry and chocolate and all this crazy stuff. This is a very well balanced, very well, the recipe is done well. It's it's like, it almost is kind of a cliche way to put it. It's like what a cigar should taste like just a traditional cigar. This is what they should taste like. Just very, very high quality, very good balanced tobacco blend. I'm trying to retrohale it, and I think, yeah, a lot of what I'm getting on this right now, it's that wood flavor. It's that mixture of like a woody flavor and oak, and like earth. Really good. I mean, it's just so clean on your palate too. The aftertaste, the mouth feel of the smoke, everything is just good. You kind of can't go wrong here. Would I say that this is a beginner cigar? Because, you know, obviously my channel is geared a lot towards new cigar smokers. Not necessarily. You might. I would say you might be not getting your bang for your buck on this if you don't have at least a somewhat developed palate. I would kind of bump this up to the intermediate to advanced cigar smoker. I mean, if you did smoke it as a beginner, I guess the worst case scenario, you just won't really notice some of the nuances that make this such a good cigar. You might smoke and go, yeah, that was pretty good. But I think when you get to like an intermediate advanced palate, I think then you start to really taste the nuances that like retrohaling and a more advanced palate brings, as far as, you know, being able to discover the flavors out of it that normally they might just shoot right by you because you're just not there yet. And it's nothing negative. It's like we say riding a Harley. It's, you know, how do you get better? Time in the seat. Same with smoking cigars. You just need time behind the cigar. Smoke enough cigars, a wider range of cigars, start to develop your palate, start to learn how to retrohale. And then when you have a cigar like this, then you really appreciate what you're tasting. All right, well, we're at like 24 minutes here. I know this was probably, for some of you, probably fairly boring, but I just felt compelled to offer up why I was missing for 2 months and let you kind of, to me, let you guys know, to me, my good news that, you know, we, you know, in our lives really kind of upgraded and left a much older house to a much newer house that is just much nicer. The view's great. We're out. Literally behind us is one more housing tract, and then it's Cleveland National Forest. So literally, when I'm looking this way, I'm basically seeing a mountain range covered in snow, and I'm looking this way, I barely even see the houses. All I'm seeing is more hills from the National Forest. So, you know, we're like a 10-minute drive off the freeway, where before, where we lived, we were a couple minutes from the freeway, and you could listen to the freeway all night long, and it was actually kind of irritating. Here, it's really quiet at night. I mean, you can hear a pin drop, and there's always, as you can see, I don't know how much is picking it up in the microphone, but you can see behind me the trees. It's always kind of a cool breeze. Just so far, I got to say, I'm really, really happy with this move. That, you know, kind of shows you. And I give a lot of credit to Gary, the gentleman that owns the company I work for. You know, he's always preached for all the years I've been there, and I've worked for him for like 18 years now. Is that he didn't make this up, but this is something he says all the time, which is so true. Is that it's really never the problem that you face. It's how you react to the problem that becomes the problem. So, you know, when I'm out there deer hunting and I get this phone call to call me immediately, you know, and now we find out we have to move out of our house after 17 years in 2 months, it would have been very easy to instantly be like, oh my God, what are we going to do? This is tragic. This is horrible. You know, this is going to be so blah, blah, blah. You know, it could have gone down that rabbit hole real quick. And what I really did is I sort of remembered that it's how you react to this stuff. And I said, you know what? I think in the end, this is going to be good. And granted, it was 2 marathon kind of grueling months, but now I'm sitting by my pool with a beautiful view and a nice breeze, talking to you wonderful folks, smoking a very nice cigar in my new place. And so I reacted appropriately, I feel. You know, I looked at the positive side and felt that somehow, some way, in the end, this is going to be a great thing. And it's turned out to be a great thing. So I think that's fantastic. So remember that we all face challenges that sometimes seem overwhelming, and sometimes they are overwhelming. I mean, you can't just look at everything and go, oh, it'll be great. You know, some things are tragic, some things are horrible, and that's just how that is. But some things, it really does seem to make a difference on how you react to it, on how the whole process goes. And so I guess, any words of wisdom I could give is whenever you're facing something challenging, just try to look through to the end and think that, you know what, maybe in the end this is going to be okay and this is going to turn out good. May or may not, but it probably makes the process easier. I think it did for us. As stressed out as I was during all this, I still kept thinking, in the end this is going to be good. In the end this is going to be good. So, anyway, that being said, I'm going to hit a little pause real quick so you don't have to just sit and listen to me ramble more and smoke the cigar. I'm going to smoke this down a little bit, come back, and I will give you my final thoughts on this cigar. But as I'm saying right now, this thing's fantastic, and if you have the money and you want to really kind of splurge on yourself and you think you'll appreciate this, this is a fantastic cigar. This is the Padron Anniversary Series 1964. So let's pause for a minute. I'll be back and I will give you my final thoughts on this. Hang tight. All right, I am back. Smoked this thing down much farther, as you can see. Not quite to the band, but I'll tell you that you're not getting, like I said before, you're not getting a ton of out there flavors. You're getting a lot of quality, again, woodsy, earthy, oaky, really just high quality tobacco taste, and it's actually a very pleasurable smoke. It's very creamy, leaves a good aftertaste in your mouth. I'd say that if you've never had a Padron, treat yourself to a Padron. If you have had them, then you know what I'm talking about. I would say this is like a stick that doesn't need to rely on anything else. It doesn't need anything added to it other than just really high-end quality tobacco and a very good blend. And that's what you're getting from this. One thing, a side note I'll tell you though, I've been smoking cigars a long time. And I ate right before I smoked this, and I've had stuff to drink, so I'm hydrated. I can feel this. I can feel the nicotine. I'm feeling almost a little buzzed off this cigar. So that's one thing I'm going to tell you, that I've had several people that have smoked this cigar that are seasoned professionals, and there's like, wow, this one hits you. So just know that. And that's probably another reason I wouldn't say this is the best beginner cigar, is because this thing, it packs a little punch to it. Like I said, I can feel it. and I'm not even all the way down yet. So this is one of those cigars I would probably almost think about quitting at this point, because I can feel that I'm getting a little lightheaded, which is telling you that there's a lot of nicotine in this cigar. But yeah, creamy, good mouthfeel. The flavors, like I said, earthy, woody, nutty, very like a very grounded cigar. The smoke is kind of creamy. And again, yeah, it leaves like because some cigars seem to leave like a weird coating in your mouth that is like almost a little bit off-putting. This doesn't. This leaves it's like a good aftertaste. So I would definitely highly recommend Padron. Like most people who are in the cigar world would highly recommend a Padron. And if you're looking to get one that I can vouch for specifically, it would be this anniversary edition 1964, and also the 26. That's a great one as well. And like I said, they do have other sticks that are like less costly, and they're still good as well. But these anniversary ones, especially to me, this box press, man, something about that box press, it just seems to have such a good draw. I don't know. I gotta try to figure out why, but there's something about that shape that just seems to really let the smoke and the air mix and travel through the cigar well, and it's just a really good draw. It's not too loose or too tight. It's just that perfect draw. It just makes the whole experience for for a stick like this is just, it's just great from beginning to end in all aspects. So I can't recommend this highly enough. Just note, have eaten and have some hydration going on here, because you'll feel this thing. I'd be surprised if you didn't. So anyway, that'll be it for this video. I just really wanted to let you know what was going on, keep you up to date on what's happening here on the channel, and looking forward to start putting out a lot more videos. And one person I did forget to thank is my mother, who really came and helped out a lot in a lot of different ways too. So again, really appreciate the people in your lives that when things get tough, they're the ones that step in and say, hey, I'm here, I'll help you out. You know, because we've all had fair weather friends that as soon as things get a little tough, they're out. And you're like, hell did they go? You know, I had the opposite effect. I had people coming out of the woodwork saying, whatever you need, dude, you just let me know. And man, is that a good feeling. So, and I'm telling you, I'm finding that, and I've said this before in other videos, that look at the communities that you associate with. For me, it's the cigar community, it's the motorcycle community, it's the off-road community. These are good people, man. These are good people. You know, I ride with a lot of good people. These are the people that don't walk away. They're the people that walk towards you saying, what can I do to help you out? You just let me know. You know, and I found that in the cigar world too, because a lot of these seem to cross over. I know I would say that the majority of my friends that are really true friends, they all dabble in off-roading, bikes, cigars, whiskey. I mean, it's a lot of these things cross over, and you really find that these are some of the best people that you'll see. A lot of charity, a lot of good things come out of these communities, and you know, don't be afraid to associate yourself with maybe a group you never thought you would hang out with. You know, you see a group of bikes, go over and say, hey, cool bikes, man, I dig your bikes. You watch, they'll start chatting with you, and they're usually really cool. Same with this. You walk up to a group of people smoking cigars and whip a cigar out. Before you know it, you guys are buds and you're chatting and having a good time. You know, certain things just seem to attract good people, and I will tell you, the cigar community is one of them for sure. Again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned even when I wasn't around for a couple months, and look forward to making more videos at the new place. And again, thank you so much, and Eric at SoCal Cigars, and I will catch you on the next video, which I promise will not be 2 months from now. All right, go have a nice cigar today and enjoy. Bye-bye.